a couple years ago, we opened up an Omega boutique up in Aspen, and I am so thrilled to be realigned with one of my favorite watch companies. An Omega watch was one of the first nice watches I personally ever owned, and I've had a soft spot for the brand for years. Today, we're going to give you the anatomy of an Omega watch. Elizabeth is just back from Texas. She went to Omega Training 1, and she's gonna go ahead and teach me everything she knows about Omega.
Omega is the most award-winning watch brand as far as movements go. And there's so much technology that they employed, that they've invented, that they really make their own, but so much so that I think sometimes it's hard to explain, essentially if you don't identify as a movement nerd or watch nerd, or you're just getting into it. So I think the purpose of today is we wanted to highlight all these achievements, but then explain them as to like why they benefit the consumer, the watch wearer. So since we're calling this anatomy of an Omega, we're gonna start on the outside and we're just gonna highlight case materials. Omega is extremely thoughtful about their case materials. Specifically, we wanted to highlight Omega Steel, which is their proprietary steel blend, 50% tougher than what you would find in a normal steel watch, and also hypoallergenic.
Yeah, the first time I saw Omega Steel was on their Ultra Deep.
Yeah.
And I noticed it didn't have a helium escape valve. And I still don't know the whole answer, so if you know, please comment below. But they said it doesn't need one because of the materials. The way the case is able to handle these pressures, it doesn't need a helium escape valve.
They still don't really tell you how they do that.
No, they're keeping it from me. Come on.
They're going to try to roll it out to more models. It is more expensive than regular steel, so you do have to appreciate that.
And also, getting into their gold, it's not just the proprietary alloys that they use, but the color that results from those alloys is absolutely insane. One of my personal favorite materials, and I don't think they crow about it enough, is the cannabis gold, because it is the only full noble white gold that I know of on the market. Everybody else's, you have a little bit of nickel in there. They use all noble metals. It's all platinum, palladium, gold. It's just such a cool luster to that material. So just a personal favorite.
And it helps the wear long term, which makes it better for you as far as collecting and building a collection. You don't have to worry about any patina or change. The name Omega came from a movement in the late 1800s, the first movement that any watchmaker could work on anywhere in the world, which really changed the industry as we know it today. But today, if we move into the watch in modern day, really the first thing to touch on is the coaxial movement.
George Daniel invented it. He shopped it everywhere to the point where there are a few Patek Philippe's out there that have a coaxial movement, but it was Omega that really heard what George was saying and said, yeah, we want to own your patent. What it does in effect for you is it cuts down the friction within the watch. Friction is one of the big evils in timekeeping, and this particular escapement does a great job with it, almost cutting it in half.
So 3 main reasons why coaxial is beneficial to the owner. 1, less wear and tear on the watch. Less friction, movement stays more consistent over time. Number 2, less service intervals. So less time having to send your watch in, being away from it, right? And then 3, because of the coaxial movement, Omega feels so confident giving a 5-year warranty with no caveats. They don't really advertise this, but that 5-year warranty is true. You get it no matter what. There's no need to extend it by signing up for their emails or anything tricky like that. And they feel very confident about this 5-year warranty. They will cover anything that happens to the watch.
And a real important part of what Elizabeth was saying there is over time. It is going to be more accurate. It's going to have less service intervals. It's going to run better over the life of the watch, and I don't think that can be overstated.
So when you think about longevity of your collection, maybe you're buying these watches for someone else to pass down or you live into the future, Omega is a very safe play. Now let's get into power reserve. The stated power reserve from Omega is when the watch is running its most accurate. So actually each movement runs for about 5 to 7 hours longer than what is stated, maybe sometimes even more, but that's not when it's its most accurate. Whereas other brands will include that, and that's considered okay in the Swiss watch world.
It's legal.
Yeah, it's legal, but something Omega takes very passionately. Now, sometimes they do this with a single spring barrel, sometimes double. They were using double more. It makes the watch thicker, it makes the movement thicker, so now they're getting back to single, but they're able to do it with both.
Just the thought process behind just using the top of the bell curve, the accuracy wave, and saying, this is our power reserve. This is when we want to measure the accuracy, I think is absolutely brilliant and very Omega.
Speaking of accuracy, On to anti-magnetic tech, something Omega is also very good at and very proud of.
Magnetism is measured in a unit called Gauss. It is one of the things that can really ruin the accuracy of a watch. So, of course, a company like Omega is going to spend a lot of time making sure that their watches are better than the average bear in reducing the effect of magnetic
making sure
fields.
the movement's running correctly.
Yeah.
And the magnetic fields in our day-to-day life just continue to increase. So industry standard is 60 Gauss. Now, to compare, your laptop is now up to 1200 Gauss. So as technology keeps improving around us, the magnetic pole that we are exposed to, that your watch is exposed to, just keeps getting more and more. Now, Omega's watches focus on 15,000 Gauss. That's kind of their standard.
That's the goal,
it's their goal. Long term, as technology keeps improving, as you hope to own this watch for life, pass it down, it really is future proof. No matter where technology goes, you can trust that this Omega is built to keep up with it.
The anti-magnetic abilities of the watch are part of a broader conversation in how to measure accuracy. And Omega has gotten away from the old COSC, the COSC certifications, and have gone more towards METAS. The COSC was a standard for a lot of years. And it's good. They would take the movements, they would run them hot, cold for days on end, position, temperature, all sorts of good stuff. And then they would take the movements and put them in a case and call it good. And that last part is where I kind of always had a problem with it. So I don't know everything about METAS, but what I do know is that they measure the watch cased up. And I think that's really, really important. It's a huge improvement from the old cost stuff.
It's really common sense when you say it that way, right? We should be testing the movement within the watch.
Yeah, a lot can happen in that process.
And really the benefit is that it makes this watch life-proof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been tested for any sort of thing that you could run into out there in your day-to-day life, and it passed. Now, going off of METAS, Omega, just this last year in the new Observatory collection, it was the first time they are utilizing this new standard in watchmaking for testing. It's called the Precision Laboratory. It's this new technology where it's using sound waves, and it tracks every single tick of the watch for 21, 24 days, whereas now METAS is just testing the watch every 24 hours. They check in to make sure things are running correctly. This is every tick, every heartbeat of the watch.
That's insane.
It is insane.
I had no idea.
Omega came up with the technology, but they are offering it to other brands. There's a place where they can go and submit their brands to be tested.
So they're just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
And they're sharing it, which is really cool. So they're going to continue rolling it out. I think the goal is for all of their watches to go through that level of testing.
Well, and I do think it's interesting. You kind of talked about future-proofing the watches, and it seems like as a company, they're so forward-looking right now that they're even willing to go, hey guys, come on, we got this cool way of doing it, and you can do it too. Like
we're going to continue pushing it. We're going to continue grow. We want to be the leader in this space.
It appears that Omega would rather spend their money on R&D and forward-looking than maybe on marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're still a pretty big marketing powerhouse, but I think there are other companies just focus all on marketing, maybe not enough on the actual product, because this is groundbreaking stuff. It's forward-looking stuff. I think that's why that brand's endeared itself to me for so many years. It's just kind of the perfect brand for a guy like me who just loves watches.
And if you're going to make the investment, you're going to spend all this money, it's nice to know all the testing that's gone into it, all the technology, and then it's really meant to last a long time.
Yeah, you're putting the money in the right place.
We'd love to see you at our Omega boutique in Aspen, Colorado, but of course you can visit our stores in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are online, and make sure to follow us to enjoy more content like this.